absolute political earthquake that's currently freezing Tamil Nadu. We're looking at the fallout of the 2026 assembly elections, and honestly, we're witnessing something with zero modern precedent in the state's history. We're going to explore exactly how this massive electoral shockwave has brought an entire constitutional system to a total grinding halt. Let's get right into it.
So, 118. That is the absolute magic number. It's exactly what you need for a simple majority in the 234-seat Tamil Nadu Assembly. You know, usually it's just this mathematical certainty that anchors the whole democratic process, right? One major party crosses that threshold, the governor extends an invitation, and boom, a government is formed.
But what happens when the party that sweeps the election simply can't prove to the governor that they've actually crossed that line? What happens when the voters deliver this massive mandate, but the math just falls, a few digits short? Well, that's the exact scenario we're unpacking today. It's triggered a massive constitutional stalemate, leaving the state totally without a new chief minister.
Section 1. The election shockwave. Okay, so to really grasp the reality on the ground, we have to look at actor-turned-politician Vijay's TVK party. Talk about delivering an electoral blockbuster right out of the gate. They secured 108 seats, literally dismantling traditional strongholds to become the single largest party. But, and this is a massive catch, 108 is exactly 10 seats shy of that 118 mark we just talked about. So yeah, they won the election, but they kind of didn't win the actual power to govern. Which brings us to Section 2, chasing the magic number. This shortfall has triggered an absolutely frantic scramble for coalition math. To bridge that 10-seat gap, TVK has essentially been gathering allies block by block. If you look at the official letters drafted to the governor, Vijay claims he's secured written support from a pretty broad coalition. We're talking Congress, the left parties, VCK, the lone AMMK MLA, and the IUML. Put all that together, and TVK claims this pushes their bloc comfortably past the magic number, sitting anywhere between 118 and 121 MLAs. And guys, this marks a seismic shift. Tamil Nadu is famously known for a single-party majority rule, right? Yet here we are looking at the blueprint for the state's first-ever coalition government. To secure these numbers, TVK had to make some historic concessions. Sources are actually indicating that the left parties will get 2 ministerial berths and the VCK will get 1 right in Vijay's cabinet.
Section 3. The governor's demands.
See, you might be wondering, if TVK claims to have the numbers and the cabinet is all sorted out, why hasn't Vijay taken the oath of office yet? Well, the answer lies behind the closed doors of the governor's office. Governor RV Arlekar has met with Vijay 3 times in 3 days, and 3 times he's basically dismissed the claim. Sources are saying the governor simply remains unconvinced. He just doesn't buy that TVK possesses the ironclad, proven support they need to maintain a stable administration.
Now, this unprecedented stalemate has obviously sparked a fierce constitutional debate across the entire country. It's totally dividing legal experts. On one hand, you have former Solicitor General Harish Salve vigorously defending the governor. He argues that it's absolutely within the governor's discretion to demand, a bit more than just a written claim. He's looking for absolute certainty of those numbers before he administers any oath of office.
But then, on the flip side of the aisle, the argument is entirely different. Leaders like Rajya Sabha MP P. Chidambaram argue that basic democratic convention mandates inviting the single largest party first. He points out that the proper form to prove a majority isn't behind closed doors of the governor's house, it should be right there on the floor of the Legislative Assembly during a public trust vote. Moving on to Section 4, the unthinkable Dravidian alliance.
While this fierce constitutional battle is raging in plain sight, there's a massive political realignment brewing in the shadows. The sheer disruption caused by TVK has sparked rumors of something genuinely impossible. For 50 years, the DMK and the AIADMK have been locked in this bitter, existential blood feud. Yet sources are reporting that an unthinkable backroom alliance is actually being plotted between these two arch-enemies, and their singular, desperate goal, to keep Vijay and TVK completely out of power. Let's just break down the survival instincts at play here. The DMK, specifically Udayanidhi Stalin's faction, they deeply fear that Vijay could usher in a total rerun of the MGR era, basically dominating the state and locking the DMK out entirely. Then for the AIDMK, who are fresh off 4 successive poll defeats, allying with their biggest rival is just a pure act of political survival at this point. So what's the rumored arrangement? Well, the DMK would provide outside support to an AIDMK-led government while securing cabinet berths for their smaller allies. Wild, right?
And these shockwaves of this local earthquake, they're reaching all the way to New Delhi, actively shattering national alliances. See, because the Congress party basically defected to support TVK in the state, the DMK has retaliated hard. The DMK's kind emoji has actually officially written to the looks of a speaker, requesting that their seating arrangements in parliament be physically moved away from their former longtime ally, the Congress. That is a serious statement.
The very idea of this Dravidian mega-alliance has pretty much left political observers completely stunned. Congress MP Jyothi Mani impartially summed up the sheer bewilderment of this moment. She questioned how lifelong enemies can just suddenly become friends, calling the potential pact a historical mistake that the people of Tamil Nadu would simply never accept.
Which brings us to Section 5. What happens next? Right now, tensions are literally at a boiling point. We've got over 40 AIADMK MLAs currently sequestered at a private resort in Puducherry, just waiting for instructions. And in direct response to these alliance rumors, TVK has issued a stark, basically nuclear ultimatum. Sources are reporting that if the DMK and AIADMK attempt to bypass the mandate and form a government together, all 107 of TVK's elected MLAs will immediately resign. This wouldn't just be a protest, it would trigger mass by-elections and plunge the entire state into outright chaos.
So, as this stalemate drags on and that massive threat of resignations just hangs in the air, we're really left with a profound question for this explainer. How far will traditional powers actually go to survive a massive political disruption? And honestly, what happens to the voters' mandate when an entire democratic system freezes just over the pursuit of a single magic number? It is literally a constitutional thriller playing out in real time, and history is being written with every passing hour.